Hello, everyone. Chris, Jacqueline, Jamin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ECC11 strategy. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes. In the meantime, I'm just going to scan the market right quick, and I'll be back with you at 9:30. Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is Theresa Webb, and welcome to the ECC11 Strategy Work Group. Again, I always like to start out by everyone who is new to either the vibrata or the ECC11 strategy. If you could just put a 111 in the chat, please. So now hey, there's my buddy out there. How you
Hey!
Where you been hiding, child?
Oh, we'll talk later.
Okay. So we have Corey that's new, Ravna, Lynette, Joanne. Okay, welcome. What I like to do is we do have news at 9:30, AUD news. So I do want to jump over and look at AUD to see if if the news is going to move the market a little bit. And then we'll get started with the setup for the ECC AUD USD, the setup for the vibrata, as well as talk about, give you some information as it relates to the strategy. So I pulled up AUD USD right now. See if the news actually moved the market. It looks like the red line is above the blue line, which may be an indication of a buy. It's above the cloud. Even though the cloud appears, the way the cloud is moving to the side, it looks like there may be some consolidation, but we'll see what happens. They were going to give an update on COVID-19. So I'm looking at price really moving downward if there is any movement. And what I do, before I even start trading, the first thing I do is go to forexfactory.com to see if there's any news during the time frame in which I'm trading. And I'm looking for news that's going to impact the market, which would be red folders and orange folders. So what you'll see is a pair, and then you will see folders beside the pair, and they will be yellow, orange, and red. You can go into the folder and see what the news entails if you like. And it'll kind of tell you whether it's hawkish or not. But that's the first thing I do before I start trading. The next thing I do is, and I'll just put this information in the chat for the new folks. Um, Forex Factory. And I also go to FinViz and I look at the Forex pairs to see which ones are the strongest. And it looks like gold is strong tonight as well as AUD USD. Those are the strongest ones tonight. So, yeah, that's what I do before I even start trading. So you may just want to take a picture of those two websites so you will have them in your repertoire. Okay, it looks like it's selling a little bit. Not a lot of movement. 10 minutes. The red line is still above the blue line. We can stay here and see if it crosses. Oh, it's really moving. So let's see. I'm thinking that maybe, hmm, well, maybe not. Just give me a minute here. It's just does not. I know it's an operator issue, so just give me a minute. Okay, I don't think it's really going to move enough for us to really be concerned about it. AUD USD is somewhat of a slow moving pair, not one of my favorites, but I thought that the news may cause it to have a significant impact, but it looks like it did not. So we're just going to move on right along to for those, just to give you a little bit of background information about myself, I've been a student of Dr. Kathy's for about 2 years. And as you know, she is a queen of the cloud. I mean, she created the ECC11 strategy. And the reason she's really the only educator I have followed. And the reason for that is because she just made it simple. She made something that was complicated to me very simple for me to follow and make money. And so, I just follow the money and I've been with her for 2 years. Um, For the most part, what happened was she collaborated with Stephen Hooley, who is a program analyst, and he took the information that she had and integrated it into the web analyzer, and that's why we have the ECC11 strategy. It is simple to follow. I'm hoping that you're going to get some value out of what is being presented to you today. So we're just going to hop right to it and get started. If in fact you're new to vibrato, for the most part, for anyone that's new, I'd like for you to pull up your vibrato if you can. Now, if you're using the new vibrato, you're not going to get the same information that I'm presenting. So my recommendation is to go to IM Academy, scroll down to old links. I think it says old links, and click on Web Analyzer, and your Web Analyzer will look like this one. So typically when you first get started, oftentimes Dr. Kathy's ECC11 strategy is not listed here. So in order to get her strategy, just click on the red line that says strategy. You will receive a pop-up window, which is Web Analyzer settings. And I'm going to show that to you in just a sec here. Okay, you should be able to see it now. And what you want to do is scroll down to pick a strategy, and then you'll see, if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see a drop down, you'll see a drop box, the arrow up and down, you click on it. And Dr. Kathy Kirkland's ECC11 strategy is the first one. So you just click on that strategy, click on Save for Mobile Safari Desktop, click on Cha-Ching, turn Cha-Ching on actually. Click on and you'll see that little blue circle there. And then go to Save Settings and Reload. And when you go back to your chart, you should have the ECC11 strategy on your screen. Now, hopefully you can see my web analyzer. If you can, somebody just put yes in the chat. I want to make sure I'm still sharing. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jacqueline. All right. So next, what I like to do is go up to the time frames, and we trade based off of time frames. For the M5 time frame, these time frames just mean that each candle represents that time frame. So if it's the M5, each candle represents 5 minutes. If in fact you take a trade alert from the M5 time frame, the way the algorithm is set, you're only going to get 3 to 5 pips. If that's okay with you, by all means, keep it checked. I like to go for 10. So I'm going to deselect it. And any time frame 15 minutes and above, the algorithm is set for 10 pips, okay? As you look below the time frames, you will see like bars to the left of the trade alert. Right here is the trade alert. To the left is the bar. If the bar is red, that means the trade alert is a sale. If it is a bluish green color, it is a buy. As you can see here, your red candles are sell candles, your blue candles are buy candles. If you look to the left, where you see trade ideas, LP is London payout. If you do not have London payout, I highly encourage you to get it. I mean, now when you purchase the web analyzer, the London payout is included in the price, and I think it's 30 some dollars now. But with the London payout, what makes this beneficial is that every night Dr. Kathy gives pending trades on indices. And usually those pending trades will have taken profit before you even wake up in the morning for her 3 o'clock session. So you are literally making money in your sleep. At the just say as an example, at the minimum you get $20. Well, $20 times five. You're doing that 5 days out of the week. You know.
Qualche competenza dovrebbe essere non sempre una opportunità per comunicare che tu possono seguire per UL, sempre con competenza, qualità, controllo, poi merda, se non trenta.
Okay, just a little housekeeping there. So, even if you made $20, $30 a night, you multiply that times five, that's the weekly amount, and then you multiply that times four. You can get somewhere around $500 to $600 a month. That's making money in your sleep. So to pay $30 a month for the web analyzer and the London payout is truly worth your while. Because to be honest with you, Dr. Kathy's accuracy rating as it relates to wins is anywhere between 90 and 94% on the London payout. And those are outstanding numbers. So with that being said, I highly encourage you to get the London payout. But if you click on LP, this is where you will find her trade ideas as well as Kevin Serrano's trade ideas. Now, Kevin will give you trade ideas on GBP pairs. So you can get those throughout the day. Dr. Kathy does put other trade ideas in the London payout throughout the day if she sees anything, but she does do the pending trades at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time every night. So the London payout is well worth it. After we close that information, you will see that there are 4 buttons at the bottom. This first button will give you trade ideas for Forex pairs, okay? Your second one is for cryptocurrencies, trade ideas for crypto. And then the third one is trade ideas for indices. And then the fourth one, trade ideas for metals. Okay. Now, what I like to do is move over and make sure your settings are accurate. And just like I said, if you have any questions at any given time, this is a space where nobody gets left behind. So feel free to ask questions at any given time. So right now we're going to move over to the settings. And oftentimes when you bring up the vibrato for the first time, your settings are going to be something like 92652, I think it is. If you have those settings, this is how you change them. The appropriate setting is 6132613. But if you don't have that, if you just move your cursor over to the right, where you see that little wheel, that's your settings. Click on that. Click on inputs, and your conversion line is 6. So you just click on the inside the block and just type in 6. And 13 for your baseline. Lagging span is 26. And displacement is 13. Go to defaults and save as default. Okay. Then you want to make sure that your style is correct. Oftentimes, if you're new to vibrato, these 2 colors will be changed. The baseline and the conversion line will be swapped. So if in fact your conversion line is blue, let's change it to red. So you just click inside the block and just find the red color and click on it. And I also recommend, if you like, to just make your red line, you might want to thicken it a little bit so that's easily visible for you. The next one is your baseline. It's probably it could very well be red. You want to change it to blue. And then you also may want to thicken your blue line so you can easily see it. Your lagging span is green, but you may want to thicken that line. Of course, I have it at the thickest width. You want to go to defaults, save as default, and then click OK. Now, if you have circles on your screen, just click on the screen and they'll go away. All right. Okay, let me see what example we have here. EURUSD. Let me try another pair. Okay, we're going to use this GBP AUD as an example. The ECC11 strategy is the Ichimoku cloud. And as you can see, I mean, the Ichimoku cloud is it's a Japanese term, and all it means is one glance, which means that you can take a look at the cloud and tell the trend of the pair. So as you can see right here, you can clearly see that price was trending downward for a period of time. So this purple shaded area, this is your cloud. And then, you know, the red outer line and the green outer line. I'm sure that when you went through your Academy series 100 through 400, they talked about support and resistance. Well, these are your support and resistance lines, all right? Let's see. I want to give a good example where you can clearly see the indicators. Give me a sec here. Well, let me see. There are several indicators associated with the Ichimoku cloud. One is the Chiku span, which is this green line. Some educators refer to it and teach it as it relates to the lagging span, but Dr. Kathy refers to it as the money line. And the reason for that is because this is the first indication of which way price is going. So, you know, it's important to know that money flows three ways. If price flows three ways, up, down, and sideways. So, you know, when price is high, of course, you want to look to sell. And when price is low, you want to look to buy. And when price is moving sideways, like it is right here, price is consolidating, and you do not want to enter into a trade when price is consolidating. All right, and as you can see, the cloud is moving sideways as well. And you can tell that it's just a straight line right here. That's the end of the cloud. So that lets you know that price is consolidating. Those are some indications that price is consolidating, as well as the candles are moving sideways. And then the next, and what happens with the money line, of course, just like I said, that's the first indication of the direction in which price is going. And then the candle follows the money line. The red line is the Tenkan-sen, and this particular, we refer to it as a signal line. And what that does is gives you an indication of which way the candle is going to move. And oftentimes you'll see it pushing the candle either up or down or sideways. And then the blue line is the Kinjin-sun. And this particular line, we refer to it as the stop loss line. So say, for instance, you don't know how to set your stop loss. What you would do is just take your crosshair and put it right at the end of your signal line. Look to the right, and for this particular pair, the stop loss would be 1.95501. That's the price where the blue line that is adjacent to the blue line. So you would use that as your stop loss. Now, there's several options that you have for determining your stop loss. One is using the blue line. The other is, I've heard Dr. Kathy say for 10 pips, you can use a stop loss, a 30 pip stop loss. But another option is also to go to babypips.com and just put in, what your capital is, what your risk is, 1 to 3% of 100, and then $100 that is. And it'll calculate your stop loss for you. So that's another option for you. So you've got three options that work, and it's whichever one works for you. When I started trading, I used a 40 pip stop loss. I don't use a stop loss now, but I did in the beginning, and I recommend that everybody does in the beginning. So the way the algorithm is set for this particular strategy, for the ECC11 strategy, is that anytime the red line is above the blue line, price is buying. Anytime the red line is below the blue line, price is selling. If the red line is above the blue line, above the cloud, up in here somewhere, that is a strong buy. If the red line is below the blue line, below the cloud, that's a strong sell. Okay. What I do is I do use the money line to, but I do want to say this, that anytime you see, can you see this cross right here? You see how the red line crossed underneath the blue line? Anytime you catch that cross, it's called the TK cross. Anytime you catch that, you're going to get 10 pips out of that move. So that would be a 10 pip sell out of that move. And like sometimes if in fact, you may be able to see, like you can tell from the cloud and the red line is below the blue line and you're looking to sell, but you want to know how many pips you can get. Say if the TK cross has already occurred and you're just wondering how many pips you can get. I use the money line for that. And what I do is I look at which direction the money line is pointed. And if it's pointed down, I'm going to look to my immediate left to see where my next low will be. And as you can see, my next low is right here. So I just take my ruler, bring it over, bring it down to see how many pips it is. If it's on, and this would be only like 3 pips. So, I wouldn't be interested in taking a trade right now. But I look to the left and I apply the information to the right. So in other words, I know that price is going to come from here to there. And then it's going to go up this way. And then it's going to come back down. So you take the information from you look to your immediate left, determine where your next low is going to be, and take that information and apply it to the right. And that helps not only how many pips you're going to get, but where the direction in which price is going. Any questions? Well, you guys are quiet. Okay, I must be this really good. All right. So this is what I do when a trade alert is called. Let me look for a 15-minute one. Use that as an, okay, here's one, EURAUD. When I receive a trade alert, the first thing I do is check to see if it's within the first 5 minutes. I like to take mine within the first 5 minutes. So if it is, I'm going to click on the pair. And then, of course, it appears right here on the chart. Then I'm going to look to see what the called at price is. So I'm going to go to my trend line and I can see that this particular pair is selling. I'm going to click on the horizontal line and then I'm going to click anywhere on my chart and a horizontal line will appear. I'm going to go up to settings and I'm going to type in the called at price, which is EURAUD 1.72550. Click OK. And as you can see, the horizontal line adjusts to the called price. Well, I know that this is selling, so what I'm going to do is go to my trend line, draw another horizontal line, click anywhere on the chart, go to settings, and now I'm going to subtract 10 from the third and fourth number to the right of the decimal. So the called at price was 72550. So the take profit for this particular trade will be 1.72450. 72450. Click OK. So since this is a sale, price will be coming from this direction. When it gets to this point, you know that's when you want to enter into your trade. When it gets here, that's your take profit. Any questions? Okay. The next thing I do is that I make sure that, as you can see, this particular trade is already taking profit. But what I like to do is make sure that, of course, I'm going to look to see and make sure that the red line is below the blue line. Then I'm going to make sure that there is a red candle approaching this particular called at price line. Then I'm going to make sure that this candle is at around the 12-minute. As you can see, there's a timer for each current candle, and it's right here to the right. I'm going to make sure that this candle is around 12 minutes. So right now, you know, like if I see that there's only seconds left on this candle, or maybe 5 or 7 minutes left on this candle, I'm going to wait till the next candle before I enter the trade. Here's a question. Okay. When we get the alerts on mobile and open the web analyzer, and I'm trying to save my line setting to default, but it seems like it goes back to its original settings. So I want to know that can we save the setting on the mobile? You know, I've never tried to use the web analyzer on my phone. So do we have anyone here who uses the web analyzer on their phone that can answer this question? I mean, the phone is just too little for me. I need to have a computer. Let me see. Okay, I guess, let me see. I just tried it and it will not. Okay, so someone else said they tried it and it wouldn't allow them to save it either. Phone is too small. No, it always goes back to another setting. So I guess not on the mobile, based on everyone else's experience. Theresa, if you know it's going in the direction you want, do you necessarily have to wait for it to get to the called at price, or can you enter before it to maximize the pip you can get? Well, basically, you know, it's your call. I would wait until it gets to the called at price. because you know there's always a reason for price to pull back. So if you don't think it's going to pull back, by all means, go ahead and take it. But this, if you feel comfortable just going in, I mean, feel free to do so. But for new folks, I think I would recommend for anyone that's new to go ahead and wait for it gets to the called at price. If you've been doing this over a period of time, well, you can pretty much make that judgment call for yourself, I think, Lynette, based on your experience with the web analyzer and trading. But for new people, I think it's important that they wait till price gets to the called at price before they take the trade. Does that answer your question, Lynette? Okay. So, as I was saying, when the first thing I do is make sure, of course, that the red line is below the blue line if it's a sale. And then I want my candle to be around 12 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 5 minute time frame, and I'm going to want the red line to be below the blue line as well. And I'm going to want it to be a red candle as well. And then I'm going to go to my 1 minute, and the same thing. I'm going to want my red line to be below my blue line. I'm going to want my candle to be a red candle. And then once everything lines up, you can go ahead and get in the trade. Okay, to follow up on that question, can get put it in as a pending order? Yes, you can put it in as a pending order. Absolutely. At any given time you can. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, here we are. See, we haven't had now, I don't know, are you talking about since we started today, Chris? Are you talking about since this session started, you're not getting any trade ideas? Okay, I think I've only had, I don't know if you were on when we first started, but I think we've only had one cha-ching tonight. Oh, you said all day. Well, you may want to go to the Web Analyzer Facebook page and send a message there to let them to see if Stephen can take a look at it to see what's going on with your particular analyzer. You can't hear the cha-ching. Now, did you go through the settings to make sure you turn the cha-ching on? Okay. Well, again, I would recommend that you go to the Web Analyzer Facebook page and, let Steve Hooley know that you're having a situation, and let him know what's going on with your Web Analyzer. Give him your ID number as well. And you may, if you can do a direct message to him, that would probably be better since you're going to be giving out your ID number. But let him know what's going on with your web analyzer, and he'll fix it immediately. I mean, he is very good and very prompt about fixing issues with the web analyzer. Okay. Yeah, it is a web analyzer Facebook page. And you can also direct message him on Messenger, Steve Hooley. Okay, mine seems behind. My last alert is 3 hours ago. Um, I don't know. I mean, the session, we went into the market closed around 4. And then, the Asia market, the Tokyo market session starts at about 7. Um, I have about, since we've been on, there's only been one alert. The Tokyo session is the slowest session. So we usually don't get a lot of alerts during this time frame. But if you continue to keep having an issue where you're not getting any alerts, again, that same information I gave the other person, you can go to the Facebook page and someone there could probably help you. Or you can direct message Stephen Hooley, and I'm sure he'll take a look at yours to see what's going on with it. Okay, someone said that Kevin sent out some alerts just a few moments ago. Um, so do you have the London payout, Moto? Moto, do you have the London payout? No, I don't. Okay, well could be because I know someone said that Kevin sent out some alerts just a few minutes ago. That would specifically be for the London payout. So if you don't have the London payout, of course you wouldn't get Kevin's alerts. But okay, Chris, but I did tell you how to address your issue. Okay. Whether you have the London payout or whether you don't. I was trying to address Moto's issue. He does not have the London payout. And someone had indicated that Kevin had put out some alerts just a few minutes ago. But since Moto does not have the London payout, he's not going to get those alerts anyway. So again, if in fact you're having some problems with your alerts or your web, oh my God, what trade is this? EURUSD, EURAUD, wow. But anyway, if you're having some problems with your alerts or with your web analyzer, you want to have, all you have to do is give Stephen Hooley your identification number and he will fix it quickly. Okay. So we've got that issue addressed. All you have to do is go to Facebook, the web analyzer page, put your concern in there with your ID number or direct message Stephen Hooley through Messenger, and you will get your web analyzer straightened out. Okay, Chris and Moto. Okay. So I'm trying to make sure I have everyone's question answered. Did I miss anybody's questions? The trailer screen is not moving or giving me new idea. Okay, I don't see it getting current alerts either. Okay. David, didn't realize I was being addressed. I'm on my computer and phone. I don't know what you're referring to, David. Can you be a little bit more specific? Oh, okay. So now we're singing from the same sheet of music now, right? David Moto. All right, guys. Okay. Thanks for that little bit of confusion. No, okay. Any other questions? I do recommend that for because of the fact that you guys are new, I do recommend. Oh gosh, look at this thing buying right now. Oh wow. See, where's the red line is below the blue line. So what am I on? A 1 minute? I need to get on the 15 minute. It's pulling back. Okay. Um, but for most of you who no, I'm on every night, Monday through Thursday, same time, same place. For is it recommend okay, regarding the London payout, is it recommended to have a large amount of money in your account? Well, if you want to take advantage of Dr. Kathy's pending alerts for the indices, $1,000 is recommended to have in your account. It used to be like 500, but now I think because there's just so much volatility, Number 45 is always tweeting, and he tweets like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when folks asleep. But I don't think the man sleeps. But anyway, I mean, it's recommended that you have $1,000 in your account if you want to trade indices. Now, if you just want to do regular Forex pairs, if you just want to take the GBPY pair alerts, um, what, $100, $200 is fair. It just depends on what you want to do. Rochelle, yeah, and it's annoying. Yeah, it is. But that's our world right now. We just have to pay attention. Just wanted to say to the new folks that in the event that you're still trading in demo, I highly recommend that, even though it's important to probably take as many trades as you possibly can so you can get used to putting trades in, setting your take profits, setting your stop loss so you can feel comfortable trading live. I do recommend that you get a second demo account and think about how much money, how much capital you're going to have in your live account. Like, say, for instance, if you're going to put $200 in your live account, well, go ahead and get a second demo account, put $200 in that demo account, not $200, but I mean, have your Monopoly money, $200. And then trade it like it's a live account so you actually know what to expect when you start trading live. When the alerts come out on the London payout, should we wait until the entry point on our MT4 matches the entry point on the alert before we take the trade? Or is it safe to put the trade in as soon as the alert goes out? I wait for the entry point. The entry point is significant, in my opinion, unless you really know how to analyze the chart. So if you're new, you don't have a lot of experience analyzing the chart, my recommendation would be to wait on the entry point. Does that answer your question, Mark? Or is it safe to put the trade in as soon as the alert goes out? If it doesn't match the entry point, can we set a buy or a sell limit? I don't do sell limits or buy limits. Um, I'll do a buy stop or a sell stop, but I don't do limits. So that's up to you. If you choose to do it, be my guest. But I think the entry point is important in any trade. In Okay. I am on IC markets and it won't let me put anything less than. Is that IC markets as your broker? And it won't let me put anything less than 100 on indices. Okay. Well, every broker's different. You know, some brokers you can do less. Some brokers you can do 0.01, like Hugo's Way, you can do 0.01. I use FX Choice. I can use less than if I want um FX Choice to pay out like Hugo's Way. Hugo's Way 0.01 pays out, I think it's $1 per pip. Whereas if I want that for FX Choice, I have to put in 1.00. No, I have to put in 0.10 for FX Choice. So I've never experienced IC markets, but if that's the only thing they will allow you to do, that's what it is. Because 1.00 is $10. Not unless their system is a little bit different. I guess some brokers may have points, a point system, and others may have a PIP system. So you just have to find out which one it is. Okay, somebody said Pepperstone is the same. Okay. Can I discuss stop loss in relation to the EUR AUD that is on the screen? Looks like a sell. Yeah, EUR AUD is selling right now. It's below the cloud. The red line appears to be. Let me zoom in on this. The red line appears to be below the blue line, but I'm not sure. And anything that I'm not sure about and can't see clearly, I don't trade. So, because otherwise I'm just gambling and I don't gamble. I'm not a gambler. So therefore, I would have to be able to clearly see what the red line and the blue line is doing because sometimes they can be intertwined together. In terms of a stop loss, it is selling. It looks like when I look to the left, it looks like it could possibly sell to probably about about 1.71524. Your stop loss is going to have to be how much you're willing to lose. I think I can see things a little bit clearer now in terms of it looks like the red line may be, even though they're kind of intertwined. I don't know. I wouldn't take this trade right now because there's not enough distinction between the red line and the blue line. So for someone new, I wouldn't recommend taking this trade right now. A seasoned trader could probably look to the left, make a determination as to where price is going, probably here, and put a take profit at 1.71512. And if you want to do a stop loss, you could do a 30 pip stop loss if you wanted to. 30, 40 pip stop loss if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you, or you can go to babypips.com and let them calculate your stop loss for you so you would know how much you would be losing if the trade stopped out. Right now, this green line is pointed sideways. It looks like price is may consolidate. The cloud looks like this cloud line is going sideways here. This resistance line is going sideways here. So I don't know. This is not a trade I would take right now. The timer is at 7 minutes. You probably have to wait on your next candle if you really wanted to get in this trade. It's just things are not lining up like they should to get into the trade right now. You might have to wait on the next candle. Does that answer your question? Okay, Natasha, does that answer your question? I mean, I know I didn't give you a clear answer, but there really
Yes, yeah, I didn't get time to type it in. I just wanted to understand it in relation to the green line, in relation to the green line stop loss, just to have an understanding. I wasn't really looking to trade. I just wanted to understand the green line theory, just to get my head around it.
okay. Well,
Thank you.
again, when you're dealing with the green line, you want to make sure that it's either pointed straight down or a straight or point up before you determine where your next low or high is going to. When it's pointed sideways like that, it kind of gives an indication that price is going to go sideways, and you don't want to enter into a trade when price is going sideways.
Mhm.
So again, you look to the left. If this was pointing straight down, you look to the left to see when your next low would be below price. And it'll probably be somewhere around here. If that was
Okay.
breaking. But as you see, it was pointing sideways, and look, now it's pointing up. So we're dealing with your next, where would your next high be? Where's your next highest high? So you're going to look to your immediate left, and you see your next highest high is here. But the question is, where's the red line and the blue line?
Mm.
Red line above or below the cloud? And it looks like it's below. Red line is below the cloud. So, you know, when things don't line up, you just wait. It's one
Mhm.
thing about trading Forex, you know, patience. If you have patience and wait for the trade to come to you, you know, you're going to make a lot of money. Patience will make you rich in Forex. It really will.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. I tried to enter a trade looking at your screen. I wasn't sure how to determine my take profit. Okay, iPhone. You weren't able to determine my take profit. Okay, so did you get an idea of how I use the money line? I don't know iPhone.
Yes. I looked at the money line at the moment. I decided to enter a trade. The money line's pointing down at that moment. So where's the signal lines and the blue line? And I waited for the time on the timer to run out, and I waited for the next candle. But I just didn't know where. I guess I should stop, like for my take profit. I didn't know what point to, make my take profit.
As an example, if this was pointing straight down, I look to my left to see where my next low would be. And clearly my next low would be here because as you can see, price is going to go up. So what I do is take a ruler and I put my ruler here, right at the end of the line if it was pointing down. And what I would do is just bring it down to see how many pips it would be. Well, that said 30 pips. I would do 10 at a time. I would go for 10. And if in fact prices continuing in that direction, then I go for another 10. That's just the way I trade.
Okay, thank you. That answered my question.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's any more questions here. Um, okay, I think I've answered everyone's questions. We have about 3 minutes. Are there any more questions? Okay, I think I was at one point I was talking about having a demo account and use that like you were trading your live account. And when you're trading, like say for instance, if you were going to trade $200, if you're going to put trade $200 in your live account, just use Monopoly money 200 in your demo account, trade it like it's 100, and then that way, and trade one trade at a time. So that way, in your other demo accounts, you're really just taking as many trades as you possibly can so that you can get a feel for trading so that you know when to buy, you know when to sell, you know how to put in your take profit and your stop loss. But in your other demo accounts, you're only going to trade one trade at a time. You're going to trade at $200 like it's $100 so that you have a cushion for any pullbacks. And that will give you a feel for what your trading is going to be like when you start trading live. Okay. I mean, the one quickest way to over leverage is to put too many trades in one account. That's the best way to leverage. Trust me and take it from someone who knows. Okay.
Teresa,
Uh-huh.
yeah, when you say trade one at a time, do you mean you put that trade and let it run its course
Yeah.
and then you start another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
After it takes profit.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would pairing the web analyzer with a harmonic scanner benefit or just be a pain in the neck? I know some people do that. I'm just one of those type of people. The numbers speak volumes to me. The fact that, trading with the web analyzer, the accuracy is 90%. That's enough for me to put all of my ducks in, that's enough for me to stick with one tool. But I've heard of people putting the no, I've heard of people you putting the cloud on the harmonic scanner. That's what I've heard on. I've never tried it. I just don't have a desire to because this is working for me. So, but pairing the web analyzer with the harmonic scanner, I don't know. It just depends on you. Try it and see what works for you. That's the best advice I can give you. But I go with the numbers. You know, I'm not trying to overcomplicate anything. I like simple. I like my life to be simplified. And that's what the web analyzer does for me. Plus, it teaches you how to analyze trades. And that's what was important to me. It was important to me to learn how to trade. So I didn't want anybody giving me the fish. I wanted to learn how to fish. So that's what the webalizer does for you. And you really are truly earning and learning at the same time because every time you get an alert, it's like Dr. Kathy called the trades idea because this is her strategy. So, all right, everyone. My time is up for the evening. I hope that you got some value out of today's session. Keep in mind, Dr. Kathy puts out pending trade alerts on indices at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 Central Standard Time. I recommend that you use a 0.01 lot size on those trade alerts, unless you have a huge capital, and I'm talking about huge, okay? So I recommend a 0.01 lot size. Let's keep Dr. Kathy in a number one educator status. She will be on at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So let's make sure that we support her on her live sessions as well. So thank you very much for hopping on, and we'll be here tomorrow, same place, same time. Happy trading, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.